Okay. There are, bring it up. You see probably 30 to 40 shilling,
Okay.
unless you're going to take time to count each one out.
Okay.
It's roughly 2 gold crowns, a
Okay.
golden ring, and an ornate silver locket, which
Okay.
when you open it up is a picture of a quite attractive human.
Ow. And were there any gold crowns?
Yeah, 2.
2. Holy
And
cow.
since you're putting it out there, it's 37 shillings, 2 gold crowns.
Ow.
And
This
the
almost
gold
seems like it's a payoff.
is probably worth a gold crown, maybe, depending on who you take it to. And the ornate silver locket looks to be maybe the same thing, maybe a little less.
Okay. Well,
Well, your eyes seem well attuned, my lady.
this is strange.
Strikes me this coachman was pretty well off for sure. But if he's
Oh.
coachman, where's the coach?
Well,
More to the
very
point,
strange.
where's ours? I think he went out into the woods in that direction.
You do hear eventually a stumbling through the brush, and you see Gunnar stumble back in. He looks incredibly beaten up. And he goes, Huds, I'm not going to do this job anymore. I've made up my mind. I'm done being a driver. And he said, the horses are somewhere off in the forest there. We got to go get them back. And so Holtz and Gunnar head off to go retrieve the horses. The coach looks like it hasn't sustained major damage. The paint certainly will be peeled on the side it just fell on.
You say that. To me, it looks like the wheels are off.
It's the token.
That's significant axle damage.
Yeah, it's the token.
That will end your Oregon Trail, I'm just saying.
I was actually just really happy to find a token that shows a coach that's on its side as it's static.
Oh, I understand that feeling.
Yeah, it's hard to find tokens for exactly what you want. Really a challenge. Anyway, so actions. Tithane, you've got all this money and some jewelry out.
I'll hold it for now, but tell Garrett, do you think that mail shirt that man was wearing is valuable? I'm certain.
Well, it doesn't seem to have too many holes in it. Garrett will go ahead and kneel down and take a look at it.
Yeah, it's going to probably need a little mending from a armor. But aside from that, yeah, it's fine.
I suppose if some of that cash could pay for repairs, it would be perfectly fine again.
Actually, guys, I don't think there's specific like craft skill or trade skills for armor. It's all smith now, and I have that, so I could fix it for you.
Well, I suppose then you might consider taking it off of the poor dead man.
We'll do so.
Speaking of taking things off of dead people, I don't suppose I could have a couple of those shillings.
Oh, I'm certain, of course. Let's see. Perhaps we should wait to divide it.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
Somewhere secure.
Just worried about how long I'm going to last on this travel if I can't pay for any meals.
Well, I'm sure I would love to have dinner with you.
Oh, is that an invitation? Well, I'd be honored.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
Such is the habit of hanging around nobles such as yourself.
Okay.
Oh,
Doranara, you are fatigued after being broken and running. When you come out of it, you get a fatigue. Who else ate poorly at the last inn? I
Albert.
remember Maine.
Oh, yeah,
I did too,
I
yes.
think everyone other than Casper.
Mhm.
Everyone make an endurance plus 40. Plus 40.
Oh my goodness, I'm feeling lightheaded.
Yeah, you
Oh,
are
that's a
tired.
skill now.
If you miss a meal, you have a very good chance of getting fatigued if you do anything really requiring effort.
Nice.
Okay, there we go. And you're fine, Alberic. And I think you ate just one meal, Garrett, as well.
Correct.
Yeah. So make a. Oh, you did.
Yes.
So we have Alberic. So Evo's got to make a roll because he did the same thing, I think. And endurance plus 40. Yeah, he's fine. All right. And what do you do?
We should get back to the coach and get out of here as soon as possible. I remember hearing beastmen, some awful sound behind us previously. We must hurry and get back on the road.
Well, it'll be up to Gunnar to catch the horses again. Until then, I suppose we should try to right the cart until he gets back.
Okay, so you right the cart, you push it up. Marie gets out. Isolde was saying, "No, Marie, you're not going to go help them. You're going to defend me." She wouldn't let Marie step out of the coach. But everyone gets out. You get the coach righted. Eventually, Gunnar and Holtz come back with the horses. They get them going. They get them moving. And this is what you see. Where are you guys? 4 and Tefane. We don't need Philip. He's an NPC. And coach starts going forward. You get the body off the side of the road. And this is what you see. Excuse me. As you come around the corner, you see a gruesome sight.
Oh no, the worst kind.
That was the coach that was ahead of you. 4 seasons passed by. Or it wasn't 4 seasons, I forget. It was Kartak lines.
That answers that question then.
And this guy is dead.
Look at that
It
peckerhead
looks
down
like
there.
he bled. He had a beak face and he bled out. And you see all these people were at the inn last night that you were in. The initiate of Sigmar, the laborer, the family, including the small child. This is the brakeman over here. The driver is the poor sap on the other side. He has a blunderbuss and chainmail also. And this money probably came from them.
That would make sense.
How detestable. Who will
that
move
makes
this
2
cart?
Chainmail, a blunderbuss, and quite a lot of money.
So as you
4
guys
season
get
cards
out,
loaded. Wow.
yeah, as you get out, you have to move this thing off. 2 things happen. First of all, everyone make a perception at plus 40.
Oh, I forgot I have keen eyes. Yay.
Can
Then you get a benefit of that. What does keen eyes do for you?
That should be like,
If there's something that wouldn't normally be noticeable or is outside of normal range, then you get to observe that.
Okay,
So
I see. Yeah,
check,
damn.
right?
Okay.
perfect.
I
Okay.
see everything.
You see 2 legs sticking out from the bush. The blood trail shows that this person was trying to crawl away. And as you get close to it, Trifane, and turn the body over. Hold on one second. You stop for a second and stun as you look at Garrett, and he looks almost identical. Only he is dressed in really fine clothes.
Dun 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 dun.
He could be a spitting image of Garrett.
Oh.
And shortly after that, you hear the sound of horsemen before you see them. And you see 5 road wardens come around. And they come up and they say, What's going on here? And you guys are on the coach at this point. The coach has stopped, and you're now off trying to get everything off, trying to clear the road. And one of the Holtz steps up and explains the situation to the road wardens, and you hear the sergeant.
In that time, could Albert have gotten that blunderbuss and chainmail off of the other guard?
Yeah. Where are you going to put him?
On top of the coach.
All right. Because the sergeant says, yeah, round up the bodies. We've got to see what we can do to tow this coach back and search the bodies for money. All right. Now, you guys know road wardens can sometimes be corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So they start searching the bodies and everything, and one of the guys comes back and says, there's no money, sir. What? And then he starts eyeing you guys. What do you do?
Pull out my pockets and show that I have nothing.
Same.
Tefane, what about that big pouch?
I'm saying you are interfering with the nobility of from 8th Ed Ear. You will delay us no longer.
You want to make an intimidate or a charm?
Let's see. I actually have skill in intimidate. It's worth a shot.
Intimidate. It's up to you. Intimidate or charm. Either one.
Let's do intimidate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
And do I get any bonuses from being a noble?
Normally you get big bonuses, but you're a wood elf dealing with humans. So I'll give you a +10 bonus. Unless you have another talent like etiquette or something like that you think might come into play. Do you have menacing, for example? That would come into play.
Roll it. Okay, I'm gonna fortune point that.
Go ahead.
Come on. No.
Oh, even worse. You can make a dark pact, take a corruption point for an extra reroll.
No.
No?
No.
Oh. Okay. Now, so these on you. He says, "What? There has to be some money here. Look at these people. Did you guys take it?" He's looking at you. He's looking at all of you.
Mutants took it. Mutants killed these people. Are you daft?
She's right, you know. Just take a look straight down the road.
Okay.
Right around the bend, even. See them all. I think there's about 3 of them.
And he motions, and you see 3 of them. These guys are all on horseback, by the way. I just don't have the horse figures out. And you see them disappear over, take a look, and you hear shouts from the distance, "She's right!" And Tefane, you see a note that's kind of perched in this guy's pocket. And it is here. If you can't read this, I understand.
Okay, I'm gonna
Can't
read
be
it.
hard.
Researches, we have come to believe that you are the only living relative of one Baronet Lieberweg,
Baronet.
late
Lieberung.
late of the town of Ubersreich. This being the case, and any other unknown and persistent factors notwithstanding, I am herewith charged to inform you that you are the sole beneficiary of the baronet's last will and testament, referred to as the document of the first party. I, the undersigned, asking in my capacity as legal executor of the aforementioned document, of the first party, do therefore urge you to make your aid to my offices in the fair town of Bogenhofen, providing that you can produce an affidavit of your identity as Castor Aloysius Libro, whatever, signed
Yes.
by 2 witnesses. Please to hand over the title deeds to the baronet's manor house together with its contents, which include a most tastefully stocked wine cellar, its extensive estates, and some of 20,000 gold crowns. I remain your most humble and respectful servant, Dietrich Barl Casey Blah. Signed, etc., etc.
And the
Legal documents.
Yeah, it's a legal document from Messrs. Lock, Stock, and Barrel.
Oh, God.
Civil lawyers, Commissioner Feroce, etc., Gartenweg, Bogenhofen. And there's another, as you pull that out, there's another piece of paper. We, the undersigned, do solemnly swear that the bearer of this document is one Castor Lieberung.
Oh, Garrett.
Garrett is like literally coming closer and leaning over your shoulder to read this, and he just kind of quietly gasps.
Are you, she'll say, whispering to, are you related to this man?
What? No, I've never seen this man in my life, but oh dear God, seeing myself like that. Is my nose really that huge?
Is this some sort of joke?
I sincerely
super
hope not. If not, it's the darkest, but yet brightest kind. It's 20,000. And I will just like put a hand on Typhane's shoulder and like look her conspiratorially in the eye and just go, "Do you know what we could do with 20,000?"
I have an idea. Here, you take this then. She'll hand him the documents.
And
Garrett will pocket the documents.
this guy gets off of his horse, comes up. That's not your brother, is it? You twins? I'm sorry. Sorry about him. As he starts piling the bodies all together.
Truly a tragedy. I thought if we traveled apart, he would be fine.
We're
And
terrible people.
The road wardens seem to have bought your story. And as the other road wardens come back and they say more bodies over there, and the sergeant's shaking his head. Damn mutants. Woods are getting far worse these days. And so you're telling me that one of the mutants ran off with all the money? Did you happen to see where he went?
No. And we mustn't delay there. We've heard beastmen behind us.
Yes, we are far more concerned with our lives.
We will take the mail here. And he says, there should be a blunderbuss. But you hit it on top of the coach, so he's not going to go look there. He says, we'll take the mail. We got to return it to the coaching company. And you know they're not going to.
True. It should serve the company well, especially if you fine folk bring it back. I'm so glad to have you here.
We're so lucky to have you.
Well, thank you.
We're terrible people.
Yes, they are. And they seem quite disappointed there's not money. They're more interested in the money than they are in all the dead bodies. You can tell they've gotten very jaded being on these roads for a long time. And after the rest of the day, you arrive at the next inn, which I believe is called The Last Resort. Whoops. No, that's not it. Yeah. And you spend the night there. Isolde is just screaming. She wouldn't shut up for the rest of the journey. She's, my daddy's going to hear about this. I'm never going to take this line again, ever. I'm getting off at the next inn. I'm going to wait for another one. I don't care if I have to wait a week. And she's still like that all the way in. The coachman and the brakemen are trying to stay away from her because she's dishing out most of her wrath on them. and you make it to the next inn. And it is very similar to most of these coaching inns are very similar in design, similar to the last one you were in. And at this point, you guys, some of you are tired. What kind of meal are you going to get tonight? Are you going to eat poor, eat well?
Before everybody goes in, I'm going to kind of get the six of us who actually seem to put up a fight and do our own things. Say, it's probably a good thing that the road wardens didn't find this, and I'll give everybody gets a
Hey,
6
what
shilling.
about me? The little hobbit says, halfling. I helped. I healed you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Well, not you. But I healed
Well,
them.
Well, if you promise not to just poke me with the needle and actually stitch me up next time, maybe we will do a split with you then.
Well, there's 37 shillings total, so I can give him 1.
One shilling?
I'm going to see what this little meeting that you've called together is all about, and I'm gonna raise my nose up at it and say, "How disgraceful! Give my share to him." And I'm gonna walk away in disgust.
And thank you, sir. I shall heal you any day.
Right then. So everybody, that takes care of the shillings.
Okay, how much
Hooray.
for everybody?
Each person gets 6. There's
6.
1 left over. So if anybody wants it, it's up for grabs.
You know what? I'll let someone else have that. I have other things on my mind now.
Well, I am currently like 50 times richer than I was a minute ago, so
Well, then it goes to you. The 7th one goes to you if you're that poor.
And you have 2 gold crowns, and you have a ring and a locket that you can try to sell in.
Left a fence though. Here,
However,
hold on to
you're
him.
going to need to find a fence for. You need a merchant's license to sell stuff.
Oh,
Those cost 5 gold crowns a year. And you have to prove you're a merchant.
okay. Well, we'll hold on to the gold for now. But Typhane is hungry and wants to eat well tonight.
Okay.
And we'll ask for Garrett to come and sit with me and tell me all about yourself.
Of course. I will go ahead and sit down, and I'll probably summarize something to the extent of
Character background.
well, you see, in Middenheim, I worked for other nobles, and I would go from one house to another and listen to what people had to say and bring that back to my original employers. Nothing uncouth, nothing really terrible or anything of that like. Just gossip and such. Such is what the lords of Middenheim love to do between themselves. So many parties, so many ignored guests, and so many things picked up. I suppose you could say I'm a very good listener.
Well, and Typhane will kind of blather on a little bit too. But as far as food goes, she'll cover for good food, drink as well. Since she's just so happy to speak with people.
Cheers to you, my lady.
Include Vogel in it, since he is a noble as well. Come, my pale friend, and join us for dinner.
I don't. Would I have set myself up in a room yet?
Yeah. The rooms are 10 shillings for a private room.
Can I do my normal bartering?
Yes. Go ahead. Make a charm. Or haggle. Either one.
Haggle.
Actually, haggle.
Was it haggle that I did last time?
Yeah, it was haggle. And
Okay, it was.
What did I do last time? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I forgot
it
the
was
math
like
that you did.
price. Yeah, it was half price. So I'll just make it half price.
And what was the modifier?
No modifier.
No, I'm a noble.
Oh, actually, you're a noble.
I'm
Sorry.
gold rank.
Plus 20. Yeah, you have higher social rank.
Hey.
Oh, of course, my lord. Yes. You know what? As a matter of fact, plus 6 is outstanding. You could stay here for free. Just speak nicely of my inn.
Yes, of course. Anton, be sure to remember the name of this place so that we can, I don't know, something.
All right. And so, how are you guys eating? Tell me what kind of all sorts. There's breads, there's meat pies, there's meats,
All of the
vegetables.
A
above.
little bit of this and a little bit of that, and let me just add this to the plate. And oh yes, and a bit of this.
How many?
Veggies only.
How much are you spending? Mark it down. I got
Between
it
the
in
two,
the chat there.
we'll probably go through 4 shillings worth of food, since
Uh,
Typhane hasn't eaten all day, so she's hungry.
Well, I'm just getting some average fare, so probably a stew and some bread. But I did have a question. I'm looking at prices, and I want to eventually replace my dinner box and matches.
Mhm.
But it says it costs 4/2.
4
So
shillings,
what does?
2 pence.
Okay,
If it costs a gold crown, it actually says GC.
okay,
Otherwise, it's shillings, and if it's a slash, it's shillings and pence.
okay. Thank you for letting me know.
All right. So, you guys eat. Do you want to stay in the common dormitory and get robbed again? Or do
Typhane
you want
will.
to split a private room?
I'm taking a private room.
Okay.
I
10
will
shillings.
sleep in the common.
Okay, common.
As well, Albert.
How much was the common again?
It's 5 pence.
5
For the
pence. Got it.
Yeah, cheap. Where are you staying, Dorilnar?
Does anyone want to split? Because I'm cheap.
Is there just well? I don't know anybody that well. Sorry.
Oh,
Or a
common
bad
don't for
bet.
me
Nope.
Hey, so you're staying in the common. All right. And you guys sleep through the night. You wake up in the morning. The clouds have passed. It's a sunny spring day. You get back on the coach for the final leg. The coach, the side of it is all battered now. Paint is destroyed. It's partially bent in. Isolde is true to her word and is going to wait there for another coach. She's not going to take ratchet lines, even though it's a one-day journey and relatively safe because it's this close to Alton.
That does mean that there are more seats inside the carriage now, then.
There are. As a matter of fact, Philip, the scholar, and the noble, and I assume you want Anton at top or with you?
Oh, Anton's always been on top. I mean, normally I've been making room for the scholar, yeah. So.
Okay. Also, you notice a dwarf, completely tatted, mohawk.
Say, how uncouth.
He has 2 axes at his side.
I feel like Casper has to give you a look when he hears you say that. Shit truly does roll downhill, does it not?
He doesn't say a word. He gets up on top of the coach, looks at you guys, sits down, just stares at you guys. You can see he doesn't have a shirt on. Completely. If you guys don't know what this is, you haven't played Warhammer.
Oh, yes.
So
Or
now,
know anything about Warhammer.
yes, exactly.
Or haven't looked at the cover of the book.
Or any book, actually. Yeah, even the original cover of the first edition book had a Slayer. Same thing. So, you guys end up going, and you can see that the Slayer kind of looks at the 2 elves. He's sort of giving you the evil eye. He doesn't particularly like you.
Being a noble, she'll stick up her nose and look away.
He sort of spits on the ground. he gets up on the top of the coach. And you guys continue. And through the day, around afternoon, late afternoon, and now it's starting, the sun's starting to set. You can see, actually, just before the sun setting, you see the gleaming walls of Altdorf. The cannons are reflecting off the sunlight in the towers surrounding the city. The massive gate that goes, the northern gate, multiple murder holes, portcullises. You can tell this would be a very difficult city to take if you had an army and were trying to storm it. And you get up to there's a line of foot traffic coming in, but they wave the coaches to the side and let them go through on their own. You don't have to pay a fee because you're all with the coach. And you end up going into the city. Second, please. Welcome to Altdorf. All right. There is no official. They're coming out in 4E with a city of Altdorf, so I assume they're going to do something. But I was able to do this from information I gathered from various sources. Unlike Middenheim, which has a beautiful map, and as an example, here I'll show you the map. This is Middenheim.
We've used that one.
Yeah, and you can see all the city streets and everything is labeled. Very pretty, very nice map, very easy to use, and this is the best I can do. But it's better than nothing. So you're going down Mungenstrasse road, the coaches, and there's a lot of foot traffic moving towards the river. And eventually you come up to the Koningsplatz. And in the Koningsplatz is a large statue of Karl Emperor Franz on a griffin holding a hammer up high. And tons of people are in here. You're seeing other coaches. These coaches must have come from the south or from the east because you didn't pass any on your way down. The road to Middenheim has gotten that dangerous that there's simply not that much traffic going back and forth. And you hear hawkers. Stay at the Red Hawk Inn. Come here, best inn, best food. Hawkers are going all throughout here trying to drum up business. As you get off, a hawker comes up and says, the Green Goblin right here. And he goes to grab Garrett by the hand and come.
Albert will slap his hand away and say, "Do not touch my lordship."
I'm sorry. And then the guy from the Red Hawk comes up and says, "Get out of here! You're bugging them." I said, "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." And they start getting into a fight.
Now
One pushes the
proper time
other.
to leave.
Yes. And while all this is happening, Garrett,
Yes,
you
indeed.
see a person. He's looking right at you. He's got his right thumb in his right ear, and his fingers are pointing straight up and together. So his fingers are together, his thumb is in his ear, and with his left hand, he's scratching his nose. You can see there's another guy with him looking around the crowd to see if anyone's looking at them. What do you
Is
do?
that just a sign or a distraction? Would I understand, perhaps, if that means anything?
What do you want to do, though?
Well, I was looking to see if there's any sort of knowledge I could roll here.
Would a criminal notice something odd about that?
Yeah, you're an outlaw, right?
I'm outlaw, and I took the criminal talent as my first advance
Oh,
in
that's
my
right.
starting speed.
You got the criminal talent. Oh, I got to remember that. Johnny Law would have been very unhappy with you. they would have immediately suspected you, probably searched you. You got lucky. Okay. So let's see.
Sorry, I should have reminded you of when they
No,
were
no
around.
worries.
Well, we got
No
ushered
worries.
through, so it's their fault.
It's not your fault. It's mine.
Clearly, they were more after money than me.
Let's see. Criminal. I'll give you a lore. You don't have it yet. Now, go ahead. Make a lore Reichland. Has to be really, really good.
Damn.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on. After a second, you see both of them have their thumbs in their right ears. Their fingers are pointing up. They're scratching their left pinky finger is scratching their nose. And they're both looking at you, and they're making a more and more exaggerated movements.
I think we should see what these gentlemen need.
Garrett will try his best to replicate their signal while still continuing to walk on.
Mm-hmm. And they both stop, and they both raise their shoulders and hold their hands out. Almost like, what are you doing?
Oh, well, I tried to interpret and I failed, I guess.
And you see them turn around, and they walk through the heavy crowds. And you see they're walking up to a very, very tall, big guy.
Under his cloak, Garrett is
And
going to
here's
put
a
his
handout.
dagger into his hand.
Okay. Here's a handout. He's got a big crossbow strung along his back.
Oh, look at this son of a bitch.
Wide brimmed hat, all in black. This doesn't show black leathers, but he's wearing black leathers. Actually, it kind of does. Again, trying to find the right picture is always a challenge. But yeah, he's tall, much taller than the other two. And he looks right at you, Garrett. And you can't really make a perception. Give you a perception on that.
Let's give it a go.
Do you have
What
anything
about us with
related to
Kane?
sight?
With sight, no.
Yeah, no one else, just him. He's looking right at Garrett.
Alright, so just roll flat.
Mm-hmm.
You
Nah,
still
you
can't
can't.
roll under
Jesus,
90.
you have not rolled anything under than a 90.
Surely this is just the worst day for me.
Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, and you see him, and he looks at you, and the three of them turn and start walking. They're going through the crowds, and they go off of a side street in the distance, loose side of them. At this point, what? You got all these hawkers around. You need to find a place to stay. And where do you want to go?
Well, we need
Lots
some
of
place to
places.
stay.
Yeah.
Lady Typhane, you wouldn't happen to know any legitimate establishment in this town?
My goodness, I should think not. I'm a stranger to these lands myself. If only there were a noble that might be able to tell.
Well, Althorf is where Albrecht is from, so he would know.
Yeah. And
So he'll rattle off some of the higher class places that he knows of. I can't tell what's what on this map.
yeah, most of this is listing the big things. It doesn't list like taverns or anything.
Okay.
You have to scroll in pretty close to read anything like this down here.
Yeah,
Just
whereas
the-
Middenheim is like, here's 5 restaurants.
Yeah, they're more focused on restaurants and stuff like that. This is focused on other things. So here is the Cathedral of Sigmar. Here's the Celestial College. All the colleges are in here. The Imperial Palace.
That's
a
weird.
Cemetery. So, what's up?
Oh.
Weird.
I was I linked a different map that I had found of Altdorf, and they numbered the places differently, which is weird because I would have thought that this is like taken from the same place.
Yeah, there's a book called that goes lightly into Altor.
Right.
It's part of a module.
Well, their your 3 is there too, which is weird. But that's where I would head off towards the Platts district to see if I can find any higher end accommodations for myself and my servant.
Right, the Platts district. Okay.
Which is in the 3 area.
That's where is that? Down over here? Yeah, this is
the area surrounding the Imperial Palace.
Right.
That posh gentleman seems to know where he's going. Let's keep following him.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And
remember, you want to keep at least 2 distances from him so that he doesn't get suspicious that we're tailing him or something.
many of the inns here are located, that you're going to find are located close to the docks. Those will be probably cheapest. And the dwarf just starts heading off towards the dock area as well. But as you're walking, Dor Inara, you recognize someone. And he goes, "Oh, I recognize you. You're from Delbert's, aren't you?" And
Who
you
is it?
recognize him. He's a trader, a merchant. He owns a boat. He spent quite a bit of time in Delbert's, and you've actually made his acquaintance. He bought you a drink a long time ago. And he says, "That's right. Your name's Dor Honora? What was that? Oh,
Anara.
Honora, that's right. What are you doing in this godforsaken place? All these people are crazy."
Good to know. I'm actually just wandering around at the moment, to be
Wandering around? Well, come, let me buy you a drink.
Sounds good to me.
Are these guys with you? He looks at you. The whole group.
We've been in battle together. Fought off some mutants.
Really? I might have need of you. Come. I'll buy you all drinks.
Excellent.
And you too, dwarf. Dwarf looks a little stunned. Stops for a second. Nods his head without saying a word. "Yeah, I like to drink."
For a second, I thought there was going to be a dwarf that turned down a drink.
I know. That's the day that the comet comes down and blows away Altor. Anyway, so you go down the street of 100 taverns, which is aptly named. There are taverns to the right, taverns to the left. He keeps walking. And he takes you to the Boatman Inn over here. It is a typical riverside tavern. I might even have a handout here. Maps? Not where I put it. Just comment. Yes. And Riverside Tavern. Here we go. Boatman. All right. And so there's another handout for you.
Ooh.
And Joseph, you guys go into the tavern. Joseph sits down. It's pretty crowded, as it almost always is. This is his favorite tavern in Altdorf. You can tell he's dressed pretty well. He's and you know he is a wine trader. So he's also a huge drinker, almost always drunk. And he sits you guys down, orders drinks for you all. So he says the mead here is particularly good, and the meads are in front of you. He says, "So what are you doing here? I really do hate the cities. So much nicer on the river."
Well, we just traveled up from whatever city we were just at.
Delbert's.
Delbert's.
And by the way, I have maps, but you guys need to go buy them if you want to see where you're at. So in the overall, Otherwise, I'll just describe where you're going.
Actually, Joseph, do you happen to have a map on you, and I'll show you?
I don't need a map. I've been navigating these waters for 30 years.
Well, you don't even sell maps to people?
I might have a map lying around somewhere. Make a percentile roll. Beat a 22. You got to roll 22 or less. We'll just make it purely random. Nah,
You mean 22 or more, right?
22 or less. Nice try. And he looks at you guys and he says, well, I might have need of you. And he pulls out a piece of paper and he throws it on the table. And everybody take a look at Schaffenfest. Said, I need escort. We go up the Wiesbrook Canal, spend the night in Wiesbrook village right before there, and it's a 4-day journey up to Bogenhofen. The stretch from Wiesbrook to Bogenhofen is quite dangerous. I'm willing to pay you 4 shillings a day. Max I can pay your group is 16 shillings a day for all of you.
It's a joust.
But I'll pay, but I'll give you room and board. You can stay on the boat and free room, free board. What do you say?
Garrett's giving like a little side eye over to Typhane. You thinking what I'm thinking kind of look.
He'll smile and nod slowly.
Yes, my lord would like to attend.
It would be a wonderful arrangement. I'd love to see a joust.
All right. Well, that would mean first thing in the morning. As a matter of fact, you could stay on the boat tonight if you want. My wife and kids sleep on the boat, so you'll have to stay on the front part where we usually stack our goods. But I'm taking expensive wine this time to the Schaffenfest, so there's be plenty of space for you.
Question, what time of day is it?
It's just past sunset.
Oh, crap. We don't have time to go shopping. Well, if the boat
I
leaves
roll my
tomorrow-
eyes.
Come now. Even nobles enjoy going shopping. I should know.
As a wood elf, I'm looking disgusted.
Oh, she's a wood elf too.
I know.
I'm going to like put an arm around Door and go, come on, friend, let's enjoy some of the finer things in life. I think if we stick together, we're going to come into quite a lot of riches very soon. So live it up a little bit. Let's have some fun until we do.
I'm just going to sigh and drink away.
As you guys are sitting there, you see 2 nobles come in. They're very, very drunk. Following them is another guy. You can see by the scar on his cheek that he has seen more than one. He's dressed in all black. The room quiets up when he walks in, and he goes over to a corner where 2 people who were sitting at that corner immediately vacate in a very quick and scared fashion. And he goes and sits down. The 2 nobles are absolutely ripped. And what happened? I gotta get up module. Just a second. Doing this all memory. Forgot exactly what happens here. And yep. Here we go. You could see the character is gaunt, tall, aquiline features, the guy in black with a deep scar along his left cheek. He saunters. Everyone at the end turns to stare at him. And he greets everyone with a sneer.
You say, friend, who is that character?
I've heard of him. His name's Max Ernst. He likes to fight, creates problems. He's
Should
too
tell her,
probably.
man.
He's Joseph looks at the two nobles. These two probably hired him for protection. And then one of the nobles says, "I say, chaps, what a quaint establishment!" And then they giggle to each other in high-pitched, aristocratic tones. One of them swaggers over to the bar and says, "Two of your finest beverages, landlord." In very, "Two of your finest beverages, landlord," in very drunk manner. And they giggle a lot. They're obnoxious. They look around the room. "Filthy commoners, smelly oiks." And before long, they start a drinking competition, which involves gulping down pints of ale. And you hear him say, "Who's first?" "I'll go." And he puts a gold coin on the table. He takes a full drink of the mug, just downs the whole thing, and turns around and vomits on Typhane.
Ah!
Oh, shit.
She'll stand up and
And
disgusted
they
and say,
start
"How
laughing.
dare you!"
And okay. Now,
Anybody got a deck of cards?
there are 4 bodyguards you notice at the entrance. You just now noticed them. You don't know if they're with these 2 nobles or not. What do you do?
Shoot.
And they're both sitting back, laughing, pointing at you.
As one of the aristocracy, I demand satisfaction.
An elf demanding satisfaction here? And they continue laughing. "Here's some satisfaction." And the other one takes another pint, throws it on you. This time he doesn't vomit. He just takes the pint, throws it directly on you.
I draw my rapier and announce my name and title. Dare you! This is an insult of the highest caliber. Face me as one on the as peers on the battlefield or something along those lines.
Alberic, you see the man in black stand up, and he starts walking forward slowly. And you hear from behind you, "I wouldn't if I were you. Why don't you just sit there and enjoy yourself?" Was that loud enough, by the way?
Yeah.
Or is that too soft?
Yes.
Great. The whole inn goes quiet as everyone waits for your response. You see the young nobles start sort of stepping to the front door where the 4 bodyguards come forward.
Lady Typhane will put her foil away and say, "Who is your employer and these young rakes' fathers? Their lineage should not go unpunished."
He takes a hand very slowly and puts it on your shoulder. And he tries to guide you back to your chair. And he says, "I think you should sit down, don't you?"
She will.
And you can see he is spoiling for a fight.
I see. You shouldn't touch a noblewoman's shoulder, young man.
"I'm so sorry, my lady," he sneers at you. "Please do sit down. Know what's good for you." And at this point, Theta,
Yeah.
your noble is now out. And you can now play the Slayer, who's right there at the table also, however you play him.
Yeah, I assumed that we parted ways when I went to the Palace District.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh
that-
god, I forgot we had a Slayer with us.
Yeah, I think it's time to raise a voice. I don't think the lady wants that. As I stand slowly approaching the Dark Edgelord, as it were.
Yeah, and he smiles at you. And he goes, "This is any of your business, Slayer. Sit down." But you see, he's
You're
not
right.
afraid of you at all.
You're right, it's none of my business. Tell me, what do they call you?
Name's Ernst.
Ernst. I don't think I've heard that name before. Tell me, when they speak of Ernst, what do they say?
Ask any of the people around here. They've heard of me. They can answer for what I've done.
I'm going to look around the room.
And everybody is getting really scared. No one's willing to come forward and say anything.
I see. It seems that you have quite the reputation. I'll ask you.
Joseph puts a hand on your shoulder. Says, "I wouldn't, lad. He's connected."
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
where are his goons?
Where
Who's
did
goons?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Who's goons?
Max's.
He doesn't have goons.
Wasn't he with a couple of people?
No,
He
came
is
in
the
alone.
goon.
He is
Yeah.
the goon. He came in alone. There's
I thought he
4
came in with someone.
bodyguards that are now around the noble right at the front door as the nobles continue to shout insult and saying, why don't you country bumpkins wash the swill off before you enter the civilized city and stuff like that. But no, Max operates alone. He doesn't seem scared of you guys at all.
Is there anyone standing behind
Standing behind who?
Max?
No, not at this point. They've all cleared out.
Damn it,
Everyone
you're
is
killing me
cleared
here.
out. Yeah, everyone's cleared out
Nobles
around the
included.
table. The
Fane will
nobles
say,
are at the front door, so they've gotten away from you guys. You guys were close to the bar, so they've kind of walked to the front door of the inn. And a big circle
Okay.
has basically come around this table as everybody is hushed and expecting something to happen. But Joseph comes and puts a hand on the Slayer's shoulder and says, "I wouldn't, Master. I wouldn't at
Real
all."
quick, before that continues,
Mm-hmm.
I want to cast a spell real quick.
There's no casting a quick spell. Your voice gets super loud.
I
There's
am
no
a
quiet.
gray wizard. I am not super loud. It is
Oh.
the one and only reason I chose.
There you go. I will give you that.
So I'm going to do Murmured Whisper, which allows me to basically speak, but my voice comes from whatever direction.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Okay. Make a language magic and tell me what you're doing.
Okay. So from the direction of the nobles, I'm going to make it sound like one of them is whispering, I heard that Max had to force a boy with him the other night to
Max
lay in
had
his bed.
And Max heard that, right?
Fane
You
will
wanna loud
gasp
enough to
scandalously.
Yeah. Did Max hear that?
Yes. It's a
Okay.
directed spell towards him from their direction.
Okay. Wow. What was that? He says, actually, lower voice. What was that? What did you two just say? And the nobles suddenly get really quiet. Their eyes become saucers. They get really scared. Even the bodyguards protecting them are scared of this guy.
I
And
will open my mouth and start going, it's truly not nice for you to talk of other people like that, especially behind their own back and in your own employ. Truly, you two have the worst ambition out of all nobles in this city. Truly, as Castor Liberone himself, I am astounded that you would say such terrible things, and I am blathering so that they cannot talk and defend themselves.
make a blather roll. Make a blather. This is.
All right. I don't think the talent gives any bonus. It's just that if
It
I
does.
succeed
It gives a
versus their end,
+1. It gives
yeah,
+1.
I just get to stun them longer.
Yeah.
So here is charm. I have 50% initially.
Let's see. Roll less
Come
than
on.
90.
My
Oh
first-
my God! You want to re-roll that? You get to reset your re-rolls now, guys. All your
All right.
re-rolls, all
Oh,
your
boy.
fortune, your
So
resilience.
since
and
we've
fate.
reset our rerolls, I will
Fate-
reroll it, but it
Fate-
is also an opposed test to begin with.
Yes, it is. Fate and resilience stay
There you
the
go.
same. You reset your fortune and your resolve up to your fate and resilience level. So you get as many fortune as you have fate. You get as many resolve as you have resilience. And that's a little better. And
So wait, does that mean I have 4 fortune points then? Because I have luck.
yeah,
Okay,
Yes, it
sweet.
does.
So I'm gonna keep in mind. Perfect.
and the nobles kind of just staring at you. Their jaws drop a little bit as you are blathering them, which basically gives them a stun.
Mhm.
And you see Max, he forgets about you guys at the moment. Strides up to one of the nobles and just cracks him across the face. And then he cracks the other one across the face, which you guys find shocking because people don't do that to nobles. And he turns, gives you guys a sneer, and walks out. What do you guys want to do?
Cough lightly.
Yeah. I stink.
Grab my drink in mild disappointment.
The 2 nobles are still in the building, though. They haven't
No,
left.
they
have
left. They left. They're
Okay.
out on the street now.
Everyone's left then. Cool.
Yeah.
So we got the bar to ourselves?
No, there's still others that go back to talking, merrymaking once, Max leaves and the nobles leave.
I'll go
everybody-
over to Typhane and go, well, how's that for some satisfaction?
I'll take it, but surely I need a bath.
Well, there is a river.
They does
So perhaps
this
there's something a little cleaner around here.
does this tavern also draw baths? Is it like an inn like that or no?
Boatman Inn. Yeah, they do.
I will request that they draw me a bath.
And the thing you notice about Altdorf is the smell.
Yeah.
It smells pretty atrocious here. The whole city does. It's crowded. There's tons of people. There's smells of sewage that run in the streets. Not everything has sewers. It's just really, it's smells of different types of foods, rotting foods, you name it. So you
So
get
I'm trying not to be sick myself. I'm covered in this goo and alcoholic swill they call beer.
okay. A bath is 10 pence, I think.
I will gladly pay it.
Let's see, services, food, drink, and lodging. They do a bath. Nah, they don't. 10 pence. And so you're getting a bath. Joseph says, "Come on, lads, let's go to the boat. Let's get out of here." And you go to the boat, and I have another handout for you. And you see that.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Sure enough,
Bear
that
belly.
is a boat.
And there he sits in the front, and you see there's crates lined up towards the back, but the front is pretty open. So he pulls out a couple of crates for everyone to sit on, and he goes and opens one of them. He's got bottles of wine. And so he starts drinking with you guys all night. Who has consumed alcohol?
I do believe I do.
The
I have a
Slayer.
bonus to it.
Yeah. What kind of dwarf would I be, right?
And let me go. Everybody make a consume alcohol, please.
Out there.
All right, flipping that would not help me succeed, so crossing did not come into effect.
What would I would need to beat the target number to succeed it, or be lower
No,
than
you
it?
want to have a success level. Yeah. So right now you're just rolling normal. There's no minuses. Consume alcohol. So we've got Garrett. You're getting a little drunk.
I think I like to
Albrick,
flick mine.
you're getting a little drunk.
Could I
You're
flip
fine.
that and succeed?
Can you do what?
Use a fate point, or is it a fortune point to turn that to a 35 and succeed?
No. What does consume alcohol give you? Do you have that talent? No, actually.
I have the skill checked.
Oh, yeah. No, you would use a fortune to re-roll it. You'd use a resilience to make it whatever roll you want. You don't want to waste a resilience on something.
I'll use a fortune point on it.
Yeah, go ahead, re-roll.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse here. You are getting really drunk, and the night's going on, and I want you to roll percentiles out of the dice roller. What'd you roll?
6.
06?
That's what it looks like, yes.
That's out of a die 100? Yeah, it is. All right. So you rolled. I've only had a few ales, officer. No effect. You can act normally. I'll buy it with a minus 30% to your weapon skill, ballistic skill, agility, and int. Okay, you're rolling on the stinking drunk chart. Now, all right, and everyone else, you're getting drunk, but you're not stinking drunk yet. And what we'll do right now is we'll go ahead and take a little break before we start the next section, number one. Number two, everyone gets 125 XP. That's 100 for last week's session, 25 for dealing with the mutants. And you can spend that now before
What
we
about the
go.
warrior?
What about the warrior?
We dealt with him.
Oh, you mean Max?
No, Pat Benatar.
No. You haven't really dealt with. That was a good move, though. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
it was. That was smart.
Yeah,
That
that
was
went really well.
Yeah, that was very,
Shit, and
very
I didn't
smart.
think I would.
But it's yeah, you haven't dealt with. He's still going to be the menace on the docks that he is. Okay, so let's go ahead, take a 10-minute break. You guys, if you have any questions about how to spend XP, let me know when we get back. But we'll bring it back around 6:20. How's that? 8:20 for
Okey-doke.
East Coasters. All right, guys.